There's a certain kind of person who, after losing a chess game, doesn't feel frustrated. They feel hungry. They replay every move in their head, not because it hurts, but because somewhere in that mess of mistakes, they know the answer is hiding, and they need to find it. Most people look at a chessboard and see a game. Chess players look at it and see something else entirely. A language, a mirror, a test they can never quite finish passing. So what is it about chess that pulls certain minds in so completely? And what does loving this game actually reveal about the person playing it? Think about the last time you played a game, any game, and lost. Most people move on, shake it off, try again later. But chess players are different. They sit there, they trace it back, they find the exact moment it went wrong, sometimes 12 moves before the end, and they sit with that realization like it's something precious. That's not obsession. That's a very specific kind of mind at work. And here's what's interesting. Psychologists have studied chess players for over a century, and what they found isn't just about intelligence. It's about personality, identity, and a need that runs much deeper than the game itself. Chess players tend to score high in a trait called need for cognition, the genuine desire to think hard. Not because they have to, but because the thinking itself feels good. Most people find complex problems draining. Chess players find them energizing. Picture someone sitting alone on a Sunday afternoon. No opponent, just a board, running through a puzzle until they crack it. No reward, no audience, just the click of a solution falling into place. That click is the reward. The brain releases dopamine not from winning, but from solving. This is a fundamental difference. Chess players aren't playing to beat people. At their core, they're playing to understand. But there's something else. Chess gives you something life rarely does. A completely fair, completely honest environment. No luck, no favoritism, no politics. Just you, your opponent, and 64 squares where the best thinking wins. For people who feel like the real world doesn't always reward the sharpest mind or the hardest worker, chess becomes a place where that actually matters. It's not an escape from reality. It's a correction of it. And that emotional pull, that feeling of finally being in a space that's fair, is something many chess lovers don't consciously recognize, but deeply feel. Here's where it gets unexpected. You might assume chess players are cold, calculating, emotionally distant, the classic all logic, no feeling type. The research says the opposite. Chess requires what psychologists call theory of mind, the ability to model another person's thoughts. What is my opponent thinking right now? What do they want me to think they're thinking? This is empathy applied under pressure. Elite chess players aren't just calculating positions. They're reading a person, sensing hesitation, noticing patterns in how someone plays when they're nervous versus confident. Chess players spend hours inside other people's minds. That doesn't make them cold. It makes them quietly, intensely perceptive. And then there's the relationship with losing. Chess players lose constantly. Even the best in the world lose, often. What separates them isn't that they handle loss better emotionally. They don't, at first. A bad loss stings. What separates them is that they've trained themselves to see a loss as data, not judgment. This is called a growth mindset, the belief that failure contains information, not verdict. And chess is arguably the purest training ground for it that exists. Every loss is a map. Every mistake has a reason. And the player who learns to read those maps doesn't just get better at chess, they get better at setbacks in general.